Hello and welcome, Exiles, to the third update for the Tornado Shot Oshabi character. This is the last update where the character is going to be cheap. I'll put it that way, because we're going to start investing a lot more, and doing the strength swap is going to be the goal for the next update. The biggest change we made for the character from what you saw yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before with Tornado Shot, is we swapped to a Thread of Hope out here, changed our pathing to go around the outside, and really 90% of my entire character's budget is on these two passive points, which are the Ramako Makanga projectile tattoos. This character gets 4 projectiles from this due to these two tattoos and the warrior's tail, which doubles their effect. I was originally considering putting it here and then doing the tattoo here, here, and here. The problem with this is I think it's a bit too much passive points. And later on, when we were going over into more of a strength stack, heavy focus to get life and flat damage and accuracy attack speed scaling, I don't think it's really worth it. I think it's too much cost in terms of passives. And I think it'll be better off if we do this. So I'm just trying to future-proof the build a bit and go for the 2 tattoos here and here, because I think it works better out for the late game tree to not spend all the passives to go and get the tattoo here as well. The key part of these tattoos is they need to be connected to 7 adjacent passive points. So you basically need all the connected passives here and all except 2 of the passives connected here, because this node has 9 passives coming out of it. So let's go ahead and showcase what this looks like. This character is still mostly just using some garbage rares. If you look at all the characters' gear, it's not particularly good. We did upgrade our bow a little bit, but still not that great. But it's good enough to do T16 boss rushing, which I'm going to start doing for farming. Is I'm going to start farming, basically bum rushing the bosses with some, I'm going to do Templar Astrolabes. And I'm going to do that in the bottom left or top right quadrant. I need to look up the price of Greater Multi-Strike in the event, because that will dictate which way is worth farming more. But at this point, now that we have these tattoos, we've dropped GMP. Our damage is actually halfway decent enough to feel good in a T16, where we can kind of just right-click and just move around, and Tornado Shot clears everything. We're going to get a lot more projectiles with the addition of a plus arrow quiver and going to Widow Hail and stuff like that. But as of right now, this is where our projectile count's going to sit for now, which is like, I think we're shooting 7 or 8 projectiles, somewhere in that range. And it's kind of just like pretty chill, click, shoot, move, and I don't know if I walked past the boss or not. Nope, the boss is over here. And that's kind of what it looks like mapping right now as is. And obviously, sometimes we get acceleration shrines, sometimes we get echo shrines, sometimes we don't have those shrines, and that makes a big difference in how fast the character can run around and move. You know, with Quicksilver and stuff, we are actually like kind of booking right now. And then we're gonna work our way towards, I think Mage Blood is the right call, but we could do a shrine belt later on. I'm leaning towards a Mage Blood though for our min-max speed belt option. Also, you could do a Headhunter if you want to do that as well. Headhunters are very good for mapping setups. But yeah. Anyways, that's the biggest change here, is we changed our tree to go around the outside, added in a massive Thread of Hope, which basically gives us access to some really good notables: Harrier, Forces of Nature, Aspect of the Lens, Quick Step, Finesse. It saves a lot of travel passives. Later on, we can add Hired Killer. Potentially, we could do Masters of the Blade. If we swap to a strength stack build, this notable becomes quite good just for 30 flat strength. That's the sort of idea. And then adding in the +2 projectile tattoos, which get multiplied to +4 with the warrior's tail. So yeah, that's the current setup of the character. If you want to do this setup, I definitely would recommend looking into like fledgling, double tamings. You go a lot more DPS than I have here, but it's working as is, and I didn't really want to change my gear too much. So I'm just going to farm with this character and start stacking up currency and working towards buying myself replica Alberons, making myself a strength stack quiver, making myself some strength jewelry, farming up currency to buy probably a Mage Blood, that sort of thing. And I figure that'll work fine, because this feels pretty comfortable in T16s at this point. And that's what we're going to do. I was farming Tota, and so far, from my experience with Tota, I can tell you right now, Tota is not great currency per hour, at least not with a character with mid-tier damage, not a cheese build. We don't win rounds fast enough. We're not pushing high enough rank. I would like to take this character and just keep seeing how far we can push Tota, but to do that, I need to start upgrading the build. Right now, I got this character up to 500 Tota rank, and it's starting to be pretty slow, sluggish rounds, so we need to get to work, farm ourselves some upgrades, and swap over to the main scaling of the character, because right now, we're just kind of a whatever bow character, And the part where this character is really going to just accelerate into next level power is getting ourselves things like a mage blood, things like strength stat gear, the stuff that will make all the synergies come together. Hopefully. That's the plan, at least. Real quick, gonna cut this in the video because there's one other change I forgot, which is you'll notice I now have empty gloves. How did I manage to get empty gloves? Well, we did it via getting a cast on crit on our Sniper's Mark. Sniper's Mark, if you do a green coin of skill on a level 2020 Sniper's Mark, some of the only supports it can hit is like Mark on hit, cast on crit. I don't know. There's very few, so it's very high likelihood to get one of the more useful ones. You want to use a green one. Cast on crit is nice if you can link it to Frenzy, which gives you a guaranteed full effect Sniper's Mark, or you can do Mark on hit, but then you would just have this isolated. It would more consistently proc, but it would be less powerful. That's the sort of thing. Also, if you have cast on crit, technically it allows you to also put like Tornado in the link, which maybe later on I'll say, my character moves so fast, I don't care about Blink Arrow. Let me just add a Tornado into the links for extra damage. That sort of thing is what it opens up as a possibility to tag in some of that extra projectile damage scaling. So yeah, anyways, that's what's going on. And to the rest of the video. As always, thanks for watching, Exiles. Hopefully you enjoyed this update to the Tornado Shot Oshabi. The next update, we're going to be pushing for doing a strength stack update, and it should be a massive improvement to the power level of this character. Thanks for watching, Exiles. I'll see you in the next video.